Geno Smith. Listen, we can say what we want about Geno Smith. The Raiders were a tire fire offensively, and he ranked top 5 in the NFL in passing yards and completions. When you give Geno a run game, when Walker was healthy for Seattle, Geno play action passing, big, strong, good arm, and accurate. Now, again, if you speed him up like a Sam Darnold, he can be prone to mistakes and playing a little fast and frenetic. Geno Smith is going to make this a real offense, especially when you add Ashton Genty. They've already got Brock Bowers. I like their O-line, Chip Kelly. Geno Smith will change losses to wins. And number 4.
Yeah. It's interesting that he put Geno Smith and not Ashton Genty, but it makes sense because of how important the quarterback position is. And, you know, PFF has him as a top 10 quarterback. You add a top 10 quarterback to your team, you're making moves. As we went over this before, Geno Smith, according to PFF, 10th best quarterback above Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, etc. Few would have pegged Smith to grade as the 6th best passer in the NFL over the past 2 seasons, but here we are. In fact, his 85.8 passing grade in that span is just 0.2 points shy of Patrick Mahomes. After being traded for a 3rd-round pick this offseason, Smith should enjoy an improved offensive line, but a downgrade in receiving weapons. He protects the ball and has a knack for generating big-time throws. You know, with every Las Vegas Raiders video that I do, I get closer and closer to believing that they can truly be. I want to use a recent example of a team, maybe like the Washington Commanders, I guess. Not to say that they're gonna just go into the NFC Championship game, because even the Commanders needed a lot of things to go their way ultimately to have the success that they did. But I just do feel that this Raiders team can really surprise so many people. And, you know, I'm watching this clip, and I'm just like, in my mind, I'm calling it. Raiders are going to the playoffs. Let's get after it. I think if the Kansas City Chiefs legitimately take a step back, if the concerns about the Kansas City Chiefs is true, which I'm not saying it is, I kind of pushed back on that. A lot of people think that the Chiefs are going to fall off this cliff, and J-Mac thinks that they're not even going to make the playoffs, etc., etc. And I think Colin has them struggling just to make the playoffs. He has them losing the division to the Chargers. I think if that ends up being legitimately true, I mean, then the Raiders have such a clear path into the postseason. If the Chiefs prove to be a lot more resilient and they're still at the top of the division, etc., and a top 2 seed or something, then of course I think that makes it a lot more difficult. But I just believe so deeply in what the Raiders are doing here, and I understand why there's confusion about what they can be, because it's hard when you bring in an entire new coaching staff. You draft a big time player with your first pick with Ashton Genty, and you bring in a brand new quarterback. It's just, wow, what continuity is there, right? All these important foundational pieces are all brand new, so it's just hard to really predict. But if Geno Smith isn't just a statistical hallucination in him being a top 10 quarterback, and he truly is a top 10 quarterback and really was just a victim of circumstance, a little bit of a late bloomer, etc., and he really is no, I am a top 10 quarterback. It's this team will be competing to win the division, and they'll be certainly competing to get into the playoffs. But I think, unfortunately for the Raiders, they are definitely in the category where it's they're just going to be a little bit more at the mercy than you would want at the other teams. How good are the Bengals this year? Do they actually bounce back and actually give Joe Burrow a good enough defense? Because if you give him a good enough defense, that Bengals team is going to be rocking. And if they are, and if that Bengals team is rocking, the Ravens aren't missing the playoffs. Now the Bengals are going to be making the playoffs. You just start to kind of add these teams. How fast does Mike Vrabel turn the Patriots around? Is Drake May a legitimately, future great quarterback? Can he get in rhythm? Can he get momentum? Like, I just think that there's a couple of these other teams that it just you're a little bit more at the mercy of them, of what actually happens to them. Because I would be confident in saying the team that I believe that the Raiders are going to be this season, I strongly believe that they would have made the playoffs last season in both the AFC and the NFC, quite frankly, no matter where they were. Like, that's how good I think they will be. But like I said, it's hard to really envision what some of these other teams are. Are the Texans going to take a step back? Are the Jags going to take a step forward? I don't believe the Titans are going to be able to take this massive step forward and also have like a Commanders-esque season, or even necessarily a Denver Broncos season when adding Bo Nix. I mean, maybe, we can see him right there with Cam Ward, but like, I don't know. I don't feel very strongly about that, but I could be totally wrong. And it's, again, like, that disrupts everything. So to me, the Raiders, I believe in them individually as a team, but in terms of like what their true successes, or what I really fully believe and predict that they can do, it's like I really do just have to see how they look in relation to everyone else. But it's just like, I just feel like this is for the first time in a long time, Las Vegas Raiders fans should feel really, really, really excited about what they're doing. And again, I mean, look no further. The Raiders are being talked about now so much more regularly than they were before. At least Colin is, and I, of course, am, and trying my best. And so I feel that excitement, and I think it's warranted. I think it's there. I really, really do. And I encourage Raiders fans, because I guarantee you probably didn't watch a lot of Seattle Seahawks videos, games and stuff. Just look up some key games. Look even some bad games. I actually encourage you right now to watch the Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions. Go find some extended highlight reel of that. It's going to be a lot of Detroit Lions, because I think that was a game where Jared Goff had like a perfect, he had like a 100% completion percentage and perfect passer rating and a bunch of trick plays. That's all well and good. Don't get lost in that. Watch Geno Smith. Wildly impressive, and was really leading that team back to kind of a comeback. He kind of got, I think it was either something to do with the officiating or a bad drop. I forget exactly, but no fault of his own. Like, he was bringing this team back from the brink, and like, he was putting it on his shoulders, and it was not because of just like prevent defense or anything. Like, Detroit Lions want to just dominate you. They don't like play that game. And so watch what Geno Smith was able to do. He was on the run. He wasn't being protected. Like, he was making a lot out of nothing again and again and again. And from my viewpoint, that was probably his most impressive game all season, even though they lost, and they lost, by a pretty good amount. It wasn't, if you just watch that game straight through, you would be like, at first you'd be like, why am I watching this game? But if you keep watching, like, that's the Geno Smith that the Las Vegas Raiders are getting. Man, am I going to be pumped for some of these. Like, oh my God. Chiefs Raiders is like an actual box office game. It really is. It'll be a box office game. Not just like, oh, can the Raiders win? It'll be like, no, we got ourselves a game. We got ourselves a divisional matchup. This matters. This is for who's going to be, leading the division. Who's going to be leading the wild card, whatever it may be. So I can't wait. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Las Vegas Raiders adding Geno Smith and being a top 3 offseason addition, according to Colin Cowherd? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.